Not every investor gets to seize on a once-in-a-40-year opportunity, but we have one forming right in front of our eyes. We're truly shocked by the number of high-paid, top-ranked hedge fund managers who can't analyze the markets as efficiently as they've done in the past 4 decades. All because of today's unproven, untested, totally chaotic central bank and government policies that have infiltrated our global economy. In fact, Warren Buffett said plain and simple, you can read Adam Smith, you can read John Maynard Keynes, you can read anybody, and you can't find a word to my knowledge on prolonged zero interest rates. That is a phenomenon nobody dreamed would ever happen. His performance these past 6 years is one of his worst on record. Warren is not alone in losing his magic touch. In fact, many billionaires are down big double-digit losses. Billionaire Crispin O'Day says the market has become a battlefield. Bill Ackman managed to lose $1 billion in a single day. Wealthy investors are pulling their money out of hedge funds. Bloomberg concludes that hedge fund managers are losing their swagger. These brilliant managers can't do anything about their poor results. They're probably like the 99% of people who haven't followed Ray Dalio's advice. If you don't own gold, you know neither history nor economics. Dalio runs the largest hedge fund in history, Bridgewater Associates. Only a select few have taken his advice to heart. George Soros is betting big. Stanley Druckenmiller warns to get out of stocks and into gold. Billionaire whiz hedge fund manager David Einhorn is decisive on gold. Kitco concludes that smart money positioning in gold is near all-time highs. What scares Wealth Research Group the most is that in the past 4 decades, the US has never experienced a full-blown, prolonged, nightmarish depression, and the people of this country are just not prepared. Things could get desperate, and the masses will not like it. Mass panic psychology is a wild card at that point. The second wild card is the global economy itself. Anything, anywhere can trigger panic. You might have just opened a new business, taken on a mortgage, or have just retired, and your reality can change for the worst in an instant, and you have no control over it. Even the most reliable indicator of a recession in history has just triggered a red light. Corporate profits are falling for a number of consecutive quarters. Every time that has happened, we suffered from a severe recession. Brilliant money manager Kyle Bass, who specializes in crisis investing, points to massive debt levels. These are real figures. The roosters are coming home to roost. Wealth Research Group's focus is on long-term wealth strategies. This is our core model. But when the system itself is at risk and the environment is too concerning to ignore, we decided to prepare this warning video. Investors deserve to know how to protect themselves from wealth devastation. This is the key to remember. Gold and silver are uncorrelated with all indicators but one: negative interest rates. This is the only time-tested indicator for a precious metal mania. On top of that, gold is absolutely underowned by average Americans. Gold has clearly not been mined at the same pace as the global credit expansion due to suppressed prices. That means the price will have to go much, much higher, even as high as $10,000 per ounce, to cover the newly created currencies. Silver is even more exciting. Most investors don't realize that it is so cheap that hardly any company focuses solely on silver today. It is mostly a byproduct of base metal mines, and they are closing them down by the hundreds. Most investors also don't realize that demand is now soaring while supply is squeezing, and this creates a chance for a violent bull market. The historical ratio is entirely out of whack. For thousands of years, it has floated around 16 to 1. Today it's over 70 to 1. That means that silver will rise to $35 per ounce to be halfway near its true value. The word silver means money in more than 70 languages. This is how important this metal is to financial stability. People love talking about the days of the gold standard, but history points out that there is a very efficient silver standard at play. Gold and silver stocks are even cheaper when compared to the physical metals. A lot cheaper. This is where mind-boggling returns come from. They have just come off the worst bear market in history and have begun to creep up. The trend is clearly up. These companies will be in charge of creating real wealth, but only a select few of them will be the clear winners, which is exactly why investors should be very cautious right now. The worst thing is knowing what the big picture is, having a true conviction about it, and not capitalizing on it, or worse, suddenly realizing that you are part of the uneducated masses. This is the time to stand your ground. The government won't be bailing anyone out this time. In fact, it won't be able to save itself. Investors who prepared for 2008 and foresaw the chain of events the zero interest rates create became insanely wealthy in a matter of months when markets became volatile. This is absolutely the same opportunity Wealth Research Group sees today. But this time we are here and we are prepared to help you capitalize on it. We made it a point to make sure that no investor who wants to get to the truth about the severity of the crisis will be left behind. So we put together a special report that details what the billionaires and gold insiders have begun to implement to take advantage of negative interest rates. Download this complete report now and take immediate action. It's vital. Go to www.wealthresearchgroup.com/crisis. That's www.wealthresearchgroup.com/crisis.